Friends, movie name is Full Speed 2016. The old man whom you are seeing leaving the car and looking at the panty of the girls, his name is Ben. Now you must have understood from his name that how much he is a Ben. Whichever party he reaches, he turns it into mourning. And this is what happened to this innocent family. So at the beginning of the story, we see a plastic surgeon named Tom falling out of his bed at 6:15 in the morning. Actually, his wife Julia was pregnant for the third time, so he had to adjust in bed with great difficulty. Waking up from sleep, he wakes up his useless son Noy and his daughter License. Later, when the whole family was having breakfast after eating okra, Tom tells them that they are going on a holiday for 2 weeks today. Then someone rings the doorbell, and Julia goes to check him. Actually, he is no one else but Tom's fake father Ben, who came at the time when they were going on a holiday with his rotten mouth. From Julia to Tom, no one liked Ben. Because whenever Ben used to come to their house, someone or the other used to bring Ben. But how does Tom leave his father alone at home? That's why he also takes him with him to carry the luggage. That old man's old bones didn't have enough life to take that bag down the stairs. That's why he throws that bag straight down from above, which falls from the side of Julia's head. Anyway, a few days ago, Tom also asked Tesla. Bought a high-tech car in which everything was automatic. Everyone has a lot of fun in that car. In the meantime, Tom's son Noy starts screaming because he had forgotten his toy gun at home. That's why Tom's father Ben says that he is getting a lot of urine from sitting in this car. Now Tom goes inside the house to get his father Ben and his son's gun. After Ben pees in the toilet, he accidentally drops all the toilet papers in the and instead of picking it up, he covers the commode with a cloth, which causes a wave of water to flow in the toilet. Here, when Tom was taking the gun, he hears someone's voice inside the house. And he thinks he is a thief and shoots him, causing his father to get caught. Tom sees that his father was a cook who was stealing food from the kitchen. At that time, a patient of Tom calls him and tells him, "Doctor sir, what have you done to my mouth? I told you to make my lips beautiful by doing surgery on my lips. Now my lips and mouth look worse than a toilet." Here Tom was somehow trying to convince him. And on the other hand, Tom's father was spreading rumors all over the house in the name of cleaning the house. Anyway, Tom takes all of them and goes on a holiday in his high-tech car. On the way, his father Ben does not stop his nonsense and shakes his mind all the way. Now because there was a shortage of petrol in his car, they stop at a gas station and give petrol to Ben and go to a shop to buy snacks. Here, while filling oil, Ben sees a blue-haired girl and starts spitting red in his mouth. The girl says to him, "Uncle, have you seen my mother? Her car was standing right here." In which Ben says, "Yes, she left from here a few moments ago." Melody says, "Will you help me meet my mother, uncle?" Now Ben, who was a fool, was also ready to help her. That's why he hides the blue-haired girl in the car so that Tom and Julia don't know about it. After that, he accidentally blows the wiper while cleaning the glass of the car. And so that Tom doesn't know about it, he sticks the broken wiper in the car. Then they all move forward on their journey. "Daughter-in-law, give me a cold drink, my throat is very dry." Now when Julia gives him a cold drink, we see that he drinks it all by mixing liquor in it. After this, he starts talking and everyone is very upset with his nonsense. That's why Tom calls his father and tells him to keep his mouth shut. But his adoptive father was not going to listen to him. In the meantime, when they were having fun in the car, we see that there is some chemical leakage in a machine of the car. Here Julia gets upset with Ben and says to Tom, "Tom, take me home by turning the car. I don't want to go anywhere with Ben." Now Tom also listens to him and applies the brake hard to turn the car, but the brake does not work. Still, he tries to turn the car a lot, and in this process, the three of them crash into the car. He says to Julia, "The car's brake has failed and I am not even able to put the gear." As soon as he hears this, he gets hold of Melody, who is present in the car, and that flower pot bursts and becomes 464. She gets up from under the car and says to Ben, "Uncle, how far are you taking me?" Now, seeing an unknown girl in his car, he leaves Ben and shrinks everyone's mouth. They were stuck in trouble, and now because of Ben, another troublemaker is sitting in their car. The Melody thinks that these people are kidnapping her and taking her away. So she fires a toy gun at Tom, but nothing happens to Tom. Everyone in the car explains to him that no one is kidnapping her, and they are really in trouble. Hearing this, the witch trusts his words a little. Later, Tom gives his phone to Julia and asks her to call the dealer who sold her the car. After calling, Tom tells the dealer that, "Hey sir, what trouble have you sent us? Why isn't there a brake in it?" Here, the dealer was busy sticking the same car to another family. That's why he tells Tom, "Hit the brake hard sir, it's an expensive car, so take it a little slowly." Saying which, the dealer hangs up the call. Here she sees her mother from the window of the car, who was listening to a song while sticking a 60 rupee headphone in her ear and driving the car. She screams a lot to stop her, but her mother can't hear anything. In the meantime, Tom turns his car around because the car comes in front of him and flies the cover of a man named Jackie and gets out of there. Jackie was an angry man, so he asks Tom to pay for his car and runs after him. In the same way, two police officers see them driving at over speed and they also run after them. Here Tom's father, Ben, runs his mind and to fix the car's brake, he himself raises his legs and lowers his head. Then the traffic police comes and sees the raised leg and thinks that the driver must be getting a blowjob from someone in the car. "Stop sucking and stop the car now." Tom tries to convince him that his car's brake has failed, but the police don't believe him. That's when Julia writes help in a paper and shows it to the police, but the reverse paper comes out of the window and sticks to the police's face. And his bike crashes. Here, while flying, the same paper gets stuck in the glass of Jackie's car, and Jackie also saves himself by dying. Even after all this, Jackie does not leave Tom's back, because he had to take the money from Tom's pass. Here, Tom's father, Ben, also takes out his phone and starts blogging so that when the police caught them, they could show the police that they were innocent and their car's brake had really failed. On the other hand, the head of the traffic police is also informed about this and the officer orders the toll to be stopped on the highway. But before the toll was stopped, they had already left the toll. Now, the news of their speeding car was being telecasted on all news channels from G News to DD National. Here, in Tom's car's mirror, a donkey's face comes out and spreads. To clean it, when Tom turns on the wiper also breaks and falls. His car was very fast and he could only see the dust. That's why Tom's father, Ben, takes a cloth, comes out of the sunroof and starts cleaning the car's mirror like Superman. And at the same time, Tom peeks out of the window and drives the car. That's when Tom's father, Ben's foot slips and he saves himself. Anyway, they somehow pull his legs and take him inside the car. Friends, here one of their problems ends and another problem comes. Tom's same patient, whom Tom had done lip surgery, calls Tom. Because his face was swollen like a balloon and his face was looking like a wild pig. Anyway, here Tom and his adoptive father tell a local remedy to a woman who looks like a wild pig and somehow get rid of her. Now while driving the car, Tom's condition is getting worse and everything from his shoulder to his butt hurts. That's why Tom gives the car to Ben to drive and sits in the next seat. On the other hand, he was sticking the same car to the car dealer and a family that he had stuck to Tom. As soon as the family enters the car, the door of the car is locked and they get stuck in the car so that they start vomiting inside the car. Friends, you must have understood that this whole thing is about the car. Here, a traffic police comes to Tom and tells him to stop the car and gives him a gunshot on his face. Then Tom's wife opens the car door and shows her stomach to the police and says, hit me, don't leave me alive. First of all, we are in trouble because of this car, and you are scaring us instead of saving us." Now seeing this, the police understands that they are really in trouble. Further, Ben gets a strong urine inside the car, so Julia gives him a plastic bag to lighten it. Ben urinates in it, and then holds him in the hands of his son Tom. Tom throws his hot piss out of the window, and he goes straight to Jackie's face. Now after eating this hot piss, Jackie's head climbs even higher. And in anger, he puts a bucket on his face and follows him. This time he will leave with his money. He was after them like a mad dog. And because of this, his car goes between some superstars shooting. There was a crowd of cars in a check post 5 kilometers away from here, and Tom was about to crash into the cars in that check post within 15 minutes. This news was being covered by a news channel all over the world. That's why they also hear this news on their phones. Then 2 traffic police cars arrive there and decide to take the children in their car while driving. One by one, Tom's son and his daughter go into the police car, and now it was the turn of the flower. When she bends towards the police car, her skirt starts flying due to the wind and Ben sees her panty while driving the car. The flower was stuck between the 2 cars because Ben was looking at her panty instead of looking at the front. Anyway, somehow she goes in that car and the helicopter comes ahead and takes Julia out of the car. But still Ben and Tom were in that car, and they were going to crash into that traffic in a few minutes. They both understood that now their last moment of life has come. That's why they start heading towards their death. Meanwhile, when the 2 were about to collide in the traffic, the helicopter comes and picks up the whole car. And because the roof breaks ahead, they fall down. But this does nothing to both of them, and they both survive. We see that Julia gives birth to another child, and when they were coming back to their home, then they get stuck in the lift again. And with this, the story of this movie ends.